Hello, people. We have another update here in the case of Kamille McKINNEY, the young 3-year-old girl that was murdered. So today we have the update of what happened with her, and here cause of death in the case of the murdered 3-year-old Cupcake McKinney revealed in court today. Originally appeared, and it's like uh, the 3-year-old was found dead in a dumpster in Alabama, died of asphyxiation. In other words, she was choked. She was choked to death. It was revealed in court today. The remains of 3-year-old Kamille Cupcake McKinney was discovered Tuesday in a landfill not far from where the little girl was abducted. At the arraignment of the two suspects on Friday, a judge read warrants that included McKinney's cause of death. Patrick Stallworth, 39, and Derek Anisha Brown, 29, have been charged with capital murder of a victim less than 14 years of age. During the arraignment on Friday, Stallworth asked the judge why he was being charged with murder, and the judge responded that he would learn more at the preliminary hearing, according to the reporter in court. Stallworth said that he was hiring his own attorney, while Brown will be using a public defender who was previously appointed to her for an unrelated matter. Stallworth and Brown were initially named persons of interest of Kamille's disappearance, and they were both arrested last week on unrelated charges. Stallworth was arrested on child porn charges, and Brown was jailed in violation of probation conditions on a previous kidnapping charge. So Brown, which is the female, already had charges, kidnapping charges against her, and so this is a couple of the guy had been arrested on porn charges, juvenile kiddie porn charges, and the lady was arrested for kidnapping before. So obviously these are a couple of bad ones that need to go. Her cause and time of death have yet to be determined. So, I mean, they're a couple of psychopaths, man. So we believe that this was something that they thought about and acted upon, and they saw the opportunity to take the young child, and they did. Birmingham Police Chief Patrick Smith stated to reporters, "I would like to thank the public for all the information and all the tips and all the video, and for their cooperation with this police department during the course of this investigation." Prosecutors on Thursday did not elaborate in the case, but Stallworth and Brown were initially named persons of interest in Kamille's disappearance. They were both arrested last week on unrelated charges. Stallworth was arrested on child porn charges, and Brown was jailed for violation of probation on a previous kidnapping charge. Hundreds of people gathered to honor the life of the young child at a candlelight vigil outside Birmingham City Hall on Wednesday night. A little innocent 3-year-old girl was ripped from her family too soon, and her absence, made no doubt about it, will leave a hole in our hearts, Birmingham Mayor Rhonda Woodens said to the crowd. The mayor was joined at the vigil by Birmingham Police Chief, who said he believed Kamille had changed this city. "She made us stop and check ourselves," Smith said. "Check ourselves to see if we're doing everything we can to keep our children safe from harm. Check ourselves to see if we're truly the village that we promised to be. Check ourselves to see if we're living up to the expectations of tomorrow and watching over our children today. 10 days ago, I feel we were a very different city," he continued. "Maybe we were a little bit too carefree. Maybe there's more that we could have done to watch over this little child. But today, we've come face to face with the hurt, the pain, and the loss of a beautiful little spirit, let us not take the moment for granted. So a lot of, they had a candlelight vigil for the little girl, and the mayor and the chief of police showed up along with half the city, family members and everybody. So this, like I said, this is the update on what was going on with her. She was, so far, the only thing they've stated was that she died of asphyxiation, and she was choked to death. And so here's another story that you may not get a chance to hear about, and because with the passing of Elijah Cummings, there was another civil rights icon that passed away in Georgia today, and Leroy Johnson. A lot of people don't even know who Leroy Johnson is, but I'm about to let you know. Leroy Johnson was the first black Georgia state senator to be elected after Reconstruction Civil War, post-Civil War, and has died at 91 years old. So they had never had anybody in the Senate in the state of Georgia since the Civil War. He was the first one. And the news of his death was first reported. Johnson was elected to the Georgia Senate in 1962, and he served from 63 to 1975. During his term, he was chairman of the Georgia State Judiciary Committee. According to Reverend Jesse Jackson, the renowned civil rights activist, the former politician, attorney, and teacher, was the highest ranking black person in America at the time. So a lot of people don't even know who he is, and he was one of the highest ranking black officials in the country, being a senator. He was from Georgia, and a graduate of Morehouse College and Clark Atlanta University. Leroy Johnson was elected to the state senate in 1962, and he passed away. And let's see if they have any more information. He was credited for desegregating the Georgia State Capitol building and instituting integrated bathrooms and drinking fountains in the state of Georgia. So he was the first to implement those civil rights things. In 2008, he told Atlanta Journal-Constitution how he helped desegregate the state capitol. I carried my pages into restrooms that said white instead of colored, Johnson said, and when we got to the water fountain, I had them drink for the water fountain that had the sign that said white instead of colored. In response, Johnson said all the signs had disappeared from the water fountains and restrooms. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, which is the daughter of the singer Major Lance, said Johnson became a national symbol for the power of the black vote. In 1970, Johnson also played a role in helping Muhammad Ali restart his boxing career in Atlanta. He secured a safe location for Ali to box against Jerry Quarry following his 3-year ban from the sport after refusing to fight in the Vietnam War. Johnson earned his law degree from North Carolina Central University as he was unable to attend the University of Georgia in 1957 as a black man. So rest in peace, Mr. Johnson. And so we lost two greats here. We lost Elijah Cummings, and we also lost Mr. Johnson in Georgia, who was the first state senator in the state of Georgia, and actually one of the first black senators, one of the first, not the first, but one of the first in the country. So may you rest in peace, and that's my update for today. Thank you.